Hey there, fantasy fam! We've journeyed through enchanted schools, battled epic villains, and bonded with magical companions. But have you ever stopped to wonder why these fantastical worlds feel so incredibly real? Why can we recall the precise layout of a fictional castle, the intricate details of a magic system, or the emotional arc of a dragon, sometimes better than what we had for breakfast yesterday? Today, we're diving into a realm even more mysterious than a hidden kingdom, our own minds. We're exploring the neuroscience of fantasy immersion, how our brains process these incredible fictional worlds, and why we remember fantasy details with such astonishing clarity. Get ready for some mind-bending magic. It turns out, when you lose yourself in a fantasy book, movie, or game, your brain isn't just passively receiving information, it's actively simulating that world, almost as if you're living it. Neuroscientists have found that when we read or hear a story, the same brain regions that activate when we perform an action, see a color, or feel an emotion in real life also light up. For example, if a character is described as running through a dense, enchanted forest, your motor cortex might show activity, as if you were running. If a passage describes the vibrant glow of a newly cast spell, your visual cortex responds. This isn't just imagination, it's your brain constructing a vivid, multisensory experience from the words or images. It creates a mental model of the fictional world that feels remarkably concrete and tangible, blurring the lines between reality and imagination. A huge part of why fantasy feels so real comes down to empathy. When we connect deeply with a character, our brains engage what are called mirror neurons. These incredible neurons fire both when we perform an action ourselves and when we observe someone else performing it. So, when a hero triumphs against impossible odds or faces a heartbreaking loss, parts of our brain react as if we are experiencing that triumph or sorrow ourselves. This neural mirroring isn't limited to actions, it extends to emotions and sensations. When a character feels fear, joy, or wonder, our brains mimic those emotional states. This process allows us to step directly into their shoes, experiencing their journey not just as an observer, but as a participant. It's a profound form of experiential learning that roots the fictional world deep within our personal emotional landscape. Now for the big question, why do fantasy details often stick in our memory better than everyday facts? There are a few magical reasons for this. Firstly, emotional encoding plays a massive role. Our brains prioritize information that comes wrapped in emotion. Fantasy worlds are designed to evoke powerful feelings: awe, suspense, wonder, fear, joy, sorrow. When details are tied to these strong emotional experiences, they become much more deeply embedded in our long-term memory. We remember how something felt, and that feeling anchors the associated details. Think about the sheer relief and emotional release when Frodo Baggins finally destroys the One Ring in The Lord of the Rings. The details of Mount Doom's fiery summit and the struggle with Gollum are burned into our minds because they're saturated with intense emotion. Similarly, the heartwarming moments of friendship and belonging at Hogwarts in Harry Potter make the specific spells, classes, and hidden passages unforgettable because they're linked to strong feelings of nostalgia and comfort. Secondly, narrative structure is a memory superpower. Our brains are hardwired for stories. Information presented as a coherent narrative with a beginning, middle, and end is far easier to recall than a random collection of facts. Fantasy sagas, with their intricate plots, character arcs, and detailed world building, provide a perfect blueprint for memory. Each detail isn't isolated. It's part of a larger, meaningful tapestry that our brains naturally organize and store. Consider the intricate political maneuvering and character genealogies in George R. R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire. While complex, the details stick because they're woven into compelling narratives of power struggles and betrayals. You might recall the specifics of a prophecy or a family's sigil because it's crucial to understanding a character's destiny or a plot twist. Or think about the meticulously crafted magic systems in Brandon Sanderson's Mistborn series, the specific rules of allomancy and feruchemy and how they interact become memorable because they are foundational to every action and conflict in the tightly plotted story. Quick question for you. What's one fantasy detail you remember incredibly vividly, and can you pinpoint why it sticks with you so much? Finally, fantasy worlds thrive on distinctiveness and novelty. Real life, while important, can sometimes be repetitive. But fantasy introduces us to unique creatures, mind-bending magic, and places unlike anything we've ever encountered. Novelty triggers heightened attention and deeper processing in the brain. A dragon's unique fiery breath, a wizard's ancient staff, or the specific rules of an arcane ritual are inherently more sticky because they stand out from our everyday experiences. Our brains are designed to pay close attention to new, unusual, or potentially significant information, and fantasy delivers on that every single time. Think about the visually stunning and utterly unique creature designs and biomes in James Cameron's Avatar. The bioluminescent forests, the graceful dire horses, and the majestic home tree are unforgettable because they are so vividly distinct and unlike anything in our world. Similarly, the groundbreaking visuals and innovative world design of Studio Ghibli's Spirited Away, from the bustling spirit bathhouse filled with unique entities to the dreamlike, transforming landscapes, created an immediate sense of novelty that made those details instantly iconic and permanently etched into memory. Our brains soak up these fresh, imaginative concepts with incredible retention. Quick fact: when you recall a fantasy moment, your brain often activates regions involved in mental time travel, the same ones used for remembering your own past experiences and even planning your future. This is how fictional events can feel so deeply integrated into your personal memory. So, the next time you get lost in a fantastical world, remember the incredible magic happening within your own brain. It's not just escaping reality, it's actively simulating, feeling, and deeply encoding these imagined experiences. Our brains are incredible story machines, making the impossible feel real and helping us remember the wonder, challenge, and triumph of worlds that exist only in our imaginations. This unique relationship between our minds and fantasy is truly one of the greatest forms of magic there is. What's a fantasy world or moment that felt incredibly real to you? Do any of these neurological reasons resonate with your experience? Share your thoughts and your most vivid fantasy memories in the comments below. If this dive into the magic of the mind sparked your curiosity, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more adventures into the realms of wonder.